Bow, chicka wow wow. What's up, party people? Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Elevate Your Life. I am your hostess with the mostess, L, as in the letter L, and key, as in the key to your heart. First of all, I want to start off by saying, just sending out a huge thank you to all of the responses, feedback, videos, messages, advice, suggestions. Thank you. Thank you to my loyal listeners for that. I really appreciate it. Um, Gosh, where do I begin with this? I'll be honest, I came in not knowing what I'm going to talk about today. It's been a crazy week. How many people saw the lunar eclipse yesterday, by the way? According to the news and everything I read online, we were not able to see it here in the Northern California region, but then I saw other locations that said that they would be able to see it. I definitely looked for it. And I know it affected all of us quite differently. Some people were emotional, some people. It's interesting. Do any of you know about the eclipses and what goes on? I mean, I'm sure you know that when we have a lunar eclipse, it's something that happens very rarely. In this case, the September lunar eclipse is also known as the blood moon, which I would have loved to see. So it occurred on September 7th through 8th, and they said it was visible across Asia, Europe, Africa, Australia. They said it wasn't available to the Americas because it happened during the daytime hours in that region. And during the event, the moon passed through Earth's shadow, appearing to glow a deep red. I would have loved to have seen that. And I've definitely seen an eclipse, but this one would have been really cool to see. So I guess Asia, Europe, Africa, Australia, they were able to see it. However, we were not. And so I'm just wondering if anybody knows what that means and how it can affect us. Supposedly, there's a lot of things that happen during this time, like to people, as far as their demeanor or how they feel about things or their communication or things like that. That would be going into astrology, and I don't know if any of you believe in that sort of thing, but I will say that when they talk about it, it definitely affects people in an interesting manner, like their behaviors or communication. And yeah, so I'm just wondering, did anybody feel anything, notice anything? Do any of you even believe in that sort of thing? But like I said, it then we would be diving into various different signs. And I don't know if all of you believe that. I know I've talked about it in the past. I was trying to find something that would kind of share about without having to put on my Instagram thing what they were talking about. Bear with me, I'm trying to get my bearings together. Okay, lunar eclipses most impact the mutable zodiac signs Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, but everyone will feel the influence to some degree. For a more personalized understanding, look at where the eclipse lands in your birth chart, particularly if you have a personal placement, sun, moon, rising, in one of the mutable signs. And then it's just talking about the mutable signs are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces. These signs are often more adaptable, flexible, making them particularly sensitive to the transformative energy of the lunar eclipse. What mutable signs are most affected? Lunar eclipses bring heightened emotions, and the mutable nature of these signs make them more attuned to these powerful feelings, leading to significant emotional shifts. As mutable signs, these signs are often at the forefront of change and transition, and a lunar eclipse can act as a catalyst, pushing them to embrace transformation and growth. What a lunar eclipse means for you, a personalized impact. While mutable signs are most affected, the true extent of a lunar eclipse's impact is determined by its placement in your personal birth chart. By understanding which zodiac sign the eclipse is in, Pisces in September, and the specific houses in your birth chart, you can gain deeper insight into where life changes, growth, releases are being called for. I'm trying to click on all these things to find out. The eclipse corridor in 2025 is particularly impactful because it aligns with the major planetary movements involving Jupiter, Mars, and Saturn, increasing the intensity of transformations. While all zodiac signs feel some effects, 4 signs are expected to experience extra chaos in career, relationships, finances, and emotional well-being. Understanding these influences can help you navigate this turbulent period with awareness and resilience. Astrology enthusiasts around the world are gearing up for the Eclipse Corridor 2025. Okay, I already read that. The eclipse corridor is a period when the series of solar and lunar eclipses occur close together, typically within a span of 6 months. So I guess it's, in this case, the eclipse is talking about, Virgo and Pisces, career change, emotional clarity. So again, just curious, any of my Virgos. Happy birthday to all my Virgo friends, by the way. Lots of my Virgo friends celebrating their birthdays this upcoming week. Would love to hear what everyone is doing. What do you have planned for your birthday? Okay, I just found some more stuff. So we're in the thick of the eclipse season, folks, and for the next 2 weeks, nothing is as it seems. This fall, the jaws of the mouth that open from September 7th to the 21st, but we begin to feel the energy in the week before and after. This whole month is called eclipse season. Imagine a full moon or a new moon, then multiply the intensity by 10. Eclipse energy is intense. Around eclipse corridors, significant events and new connections often begin and tend to stick, carrying long-term lessons. Well, hopefully this does apply to me and my situation that I've been talking about with you guys, which, again, I was saying thank you to all of you for your thoughtful messages, insight, advice, videos, podcasts, tips, tricks from married life to Christian married life to various different things. Just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart that you took the time, made the time not only to listen and watch, but reach out with ideas and suggestions. I'm not as down in the dumps as I was last week, clearly. And I have had some epiphanies and realizations, which are I am responsible for my own happiness, which I will tell you, I didn't mean to sound naive in sharing my thoughts or feelings with all of you. And thank you for bearing with me through the storm. I am aware that I am responsible for my own happiness and my actions. I cannot take on that of another person, right? And so, in understanding that and knowing that and realizing that, I am hoping that the other part of this equation will do his due diligence to. I have taken out the word change and replaced it with improve, because all of us can improve the way we handle situations. All of us could be learning, growing, and improving, right? That's something that should be ever evolving. At least that's how my brain works. That's how I think. And while I realize not everyone has a growth mindset, some people have a fixed mindset, I would like to believe that my other half will be willing to participate in this transition of putting that old, unhealthy, unproductive relationship, put that to rest, literally, and to start anew with a healthy, happy, productive, communicative relationship. Because as I told you all before, I don't take my vows lightly. And while I understand that I cannot change a person, which I wouldn't say that is my goal. It is not my goal to change the person. It is simply to invite them to improve. I myself going through abuse, trauma, various different impactful things during my younger days and life. I had to work on. Basically, looking inward, healing that inner child of the past, and realizing the things that I could do better. I hope all of this is making sense. I'm just literally spinning off the dome, guys. So forgive me if I sound kind of all over the place. First, I'm talking about the lunar eclipse and thanking everybody, but I wanted to go back to the topic of last week was definitely rough. There's no denying that. And there's no denying that while I started out talking about listeners, fellow listeners' relationships, and it ended up talking about myself and my marriage and my challenges. I do have perspective and I do have self awareness. And I do realize the things that are within my power and my control are my own happiness, right? And what I can do to do that. The flip side of that is when you do have a life partner, obviously their actions are going to trickle over and impact you. And while there's several techniques you could use, the gray rock technique, the stone technique, etc., I guess what I'm trying to say is I want to make sure that I exhaust all of my options before I tap out. And that's who I am. I'm a ride or die. And I hope that that's what I married. And these are things that I'm finding out. So sorry, not sorry for making it public. But I wouldn't be a real person, a real podcaster, if I didn't talk about these real life situations that happen. And it's something that happened and trickled over into my podcast. And, you know, I found out who my loyal listeners and friends are. And it showed me community and that I am not alone. And it gave me hope. So thank you to all of you for that. So what I want to share is that I do have perspective. I am aware that I am responsible for my own happiness, my own actions. And I also know that I believe in miracles and that I'm hoping what transpired, what started yesterday, How to Be a Better Husband book, arrived in the mail. I'm hoping that that resonates with him and that helps him to see and work on things, improve on things that are lacking. Because I would like to believe that we fell in love for a reason, we got married for a reason, and all of you married couples that reached out and shared your insight, you know that marriage is a job and it is work. And it's a question of who is willing to put in the work and how much are you willing to put in the work. And hopefully he's willing to balance out that percentage because I definitely feel like I've been putting in more than my share. So that's what I have to say about that. I do want to wish everyone a mindful Monday. I want to encourage you to take this time. Hopefully, those of you that do know about the eclipses, we're supposed to sage, which I didn't have any sage. I normally would have. It's kind of supposed to be out with the old energy and in with the new energy, and that is my outlook that I took on yesterday and into today. So I'm curious to hear all of your stories, all of my Virgos, Pisces, Geminis, all of the people that I talked about that it's supposed to impact them. Have you noticed a shift? And if so, do tell. On that note, I want to make sure that I send a shout out to all of my loyal listeners. Thank you, Roger, Haven. Hope that you are doing well and enjoyed your weekend. It was a beautiful weekend for gardening and being outdoors. Maybe you did a car show or were out with friends. But whatever you did, I hope it was amazing. Thank you for being a loyal listener and subscriber. Thank you to Lisa Roberts Curbello, the woman who's always working, who I haven't bumped shoulders with since St. Patrick's Day. And I'm hoping to see you before your birthday, 2 months away. Thank you to Jeff Para. Namaste. I hope that you and your dear friend enjoyed the wedding celebration. I saw clips of it on the internet and it was beautiful and peaceful, and what a joyous weekend to come together. So awesome. Looks like a lovely couple. So I hope that you and your significant other, your special someone, enjoyed your time together. Namaste. Thank you to Kyle Few. Commitment to love. Love is a verb. He is another person that always reminds me of what perspective to have and how to go about it and how to take care of me. And yes, I mean, I've listened to the Audible. I know about the commitment to love and love is a verb and what needs to happen. I'm doing my part. And last but not least, Mike Kaufman. Thank you for being a loyal listener and subscriber. Hopefully, this podcast will make you feel lighter, happier, and more hopeful. I think that's everyone. I do want to say thank you. Oh, thank you to Angie Germer of Thrive Lavelle. If you're looking to get energy, in shape, lose weight, Angie with Thrive Lavelle is the one to reach out to. Thank you to Kara, lovemyartist.etsy.com, and her amazing website. If you haven't looked at it, if you haven't looked into Angie at thrivelavelle.com, her website can be found in my podcast notes. Same with Kara, same with Persimmon Dental and all the businesses I mentioned. Kara is uber talented. I cannot say enough about her paintings, her poems, her songs, she just has such an amazing array of creative Etsy things, clothing, shoes, you name it, she has it. So I definitely recommend looking at her website, lovemyartist.etsy.com. Shout out to Kara. Appreciate you, Kara. And And I think that covers everyone. I think I thanked everyone. So feel free to look into the whole lunar eclipse and how it could impact you. Again, happy birthday again to all of my Virgos out there. This is your month. This is your time. With the eclipse happening, it's all about new beginnings. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Guys, I'm here for you. And I'm not just showing up for myself, I'm showing up for you. So your liking and sharing and commenting, it helps the algorithm. It helps get my voice and my thoughts out there. And if you're interested in becoming a guest on the show, if you're interested in becoming a sponsor or subscriber, reach out to me. You can text through the platforms. There is a text option. The main one I promote is YouTube, but any of the platforms all have a text option, a like option. You literally just click on the thumbs up button. You can share it with somebody that you think it would be relevant to. And yes, I'll look forward to touching base with you on Wisdom Wellness Wednesday. Until then, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a loyal subscriber. Remember, click on that thumbs up button, comment on that little comment box that you see. And yeah, comment, share, subscribe. Would love to have you and hear from you. Until then, ciao for now.